Whatever Bellular is on, I need some, because today I'd like to live comment on the watching of his very recent video that I missed out on, where he's speculating on the Void being the next expansion. Let's see what he has to say. I will offer you my on-the-spot comments, what I think about this. As you know, one of my favorite times in World of Warcraft was the Enzoth's visions, was the visions of the Void. But of course, that was sort of Void and other kind of themes of the old gods. So right now we're talking about the space void, the space people, the, void elves and that kind of stuff.
It's time for the Void Lords to get the job done
Void
themselves,
Lords.
but they
Yeah,
still
baby.
need to have pieces on the board. They need a harbinger, a bringer of change, someone to bring their will to reality and draw others to their cause.
Xal'atath.
That
Yes,
is
baby.
where Xal'atath comes in. She clearly has been working this plan for a long time, maybe since the Scaleborn War for all we know.
I gotta say, everyone loves her, right? You played Legion, yes? You played Shadow Priest? No?
But if speculation holds true that Xal'atath is perhaps even a fang of Yasharj himself, or some sort of fifth old god, as has been speculated since back in Legion.
Don't think so.
This could be a plan leading right back to the most powerful old god. Another harbinger is Ashara, one of Azeroth's most powerful casters in all of history. We discovered the ordering of Azeroth was in fact a far more muddy affair, but the key revelation was that the Titan Keepers did acknowledge some advancements made by the Black Empire. Keep that in mind, it's going to be relevant again later today. But the thing that locked all of this into place was an annotated copy of Azeroth's history that was found in Neltharion's personal collection of books, and his own little annotations in the margins of that book.
I can't believe, honestly, that Bellular, lore has always been his thing particularly, and I can't believe that he and his team now, of course, it's not just him, bother to go through this stuff. I'll be honest with you. I'm interested in listening to this. I'm interested in commenting on this. Like, I'm doing this not to get attention. It's just me to explore new content and have fun in the process, right? But I would never do this myself. If somebody tells me about it, okay, that's cool. But at the same time, would I ever read this stuff myself? No. Would you? I mean, I don't judge, but that's actually interesting for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you would. Like, honestly, I would love to connect and just understand what makes those people tick, because clearly it is his thing, right?
Basically confirmed everything that Odin said, but from the perspective of the Void. And way more, to be honest. There are more than 4 old gods it would seem. There's maybe more than 5, but it certainly seems like there are 5. There are continents other than Kalimdor. I mean, Kalimdor, the original supercontinent. There was also a Naga prophecy that we found on the shores of the Forbidden Reach. It was called Songs of the Depths, and it seemed to foretell Ashara's imminent return. That is when Sarkar managed to get exactly what he needed.
I don't know if you are.
And in the wake of the Primal Incarnates busting open Abyss to claim Shadowflame and other Void artifacts, Sarkarath went in to find his father's legacy. But it was just the empty madness of Void, and he died cold and alone.
Oh, poor
Sarkarath. That is when we all started asking very big questions. You know, right about the time that the whole room turned purple and Sarkarath started ripping very large holes in reality. Kind of alarming. Because that Void was a bit different. It wasn't the purple, goopy old god stuff. No, it was all, well, dark purple, dark blue, shimmering. It seemed to come from space. Blizzard themselves called this
That's definitely
Cosmic
Space Void. I like this.
It had its fingerprints all over the Dragon Isles and finally pointed us to who Iridikron made his deal with.
Yep,
I think it all circles around this new Cosmic Void. But
gotta be Xal'atath,
we didn't know
right?
that until we pretty much heard it from Iridikron himself in patch 10.1.5.
Okay.
He questions why the Titans wanted to preserve this timeline over the others.
You tell them, buddy.
In the end, he pretty much said that they don't care about the faith or the suffering of those who kept Azeroth true to their path. That this timeline really is just cultivated to suit the Titans' ends, and nobody else's. Which, of course, we've actually known since Wrath of the Lich King. You know, that little time where Algalon
Remember
was,
design of these rooms? Oh, it was gorgeous, wasn't it? This is awesome.
In the end, they don't care about the faith or the suffering of those who kept Azeroth true to their plan.
Good old days.
This timeline suited them and nobody else. They would only care and only return if something actually precious was taken away from them. Like if Azeroth was, say, truly taken by the Void. I think that's what the Void Essences taken from Galakrond are kind of for. I mean, Galakrond, what was up with that? It saw every potential timeline and possibility, and it hedged its bets on the ones that led to them taking Azeroth.
She's a smart girl.
That is when Xal'atath
She's a smart
got
girl.
the kiss.
Like, you're gonna say.
Meanwhile, the Titans left their keepers in charge, and one of them, Tyr, uplifted the Proto-Drakes as new protectors of the Titans' plan in Azeroth. But not all of those Proto-Drakes agreed. They called themselves Primal Dragons, far more proud, and they called themselves the Primal Incarnates. And over time, the divisions turned into open hostility and eventually war.
Okay, my friends, I speak on behalf of everyone. We're gonna fast forward again.
Made a deal to return. The ultimate bash, the ultimate throwdown.
Ultimate bash. Let's go.
Able to ascend to the levels of sheer rule of cool the Legion was able to achieve.
Okay, questions. What questions?
There have been a lot of questions in Dragonflight, but it feels like 10.1.5 has blown the lid on everything. And it's actually now quite exciting to get in there with the lore. It doesn't feel random and disconnected. It actually feels like these things are finally actually coming together. And it's not just, you know, oh, Steve's given us a few more whispers. Where will they go? It actually feels like now things are going somewhere.
Okay.
But of course, like any good mystery, huge questions are thrown up with every answer. Does Eridicron seriously think the Titans will show up again? What's even going on with the Titans? Did they return to Zereth Ordos to lick their wounds? Have they returned to some weird planet to lock Sargeras up in? What the hell's going on? What's Illidan up to? What does he think about any of this? We don't know. It's maybe outside the story as it is, but like that return of Illidan, what would that mean? And if the Titans had to suddenly just leave, and,
why would he return?
Presumably wipe Azeroth clean of all the bad things on it, what does that mean for Illidan and Sargeras? What, do they just have a smoke and play cards with each other for a few thousand years? I don't know.
This is exactly where Mike is at his best. He's speculating and he's creating more questions than he has given answers for, keeping people hooked. I understand the model and I cannot replicate it as beautifully as he has done it and hooked all of you guys and girls who are watching him, other than just you know, the tiniest fraction of this that watches me. But at the same time, I gotta admire his handiwork, because the guy is the guy is speculating constantly. He has given us some facts, Mike. He has, you know, given us some information, but that information was most minuscule, and I think everyone and their dog have been already predicting a Void expansion. That's my conclusion, by the way. Sorry, I didn't announce it very explicitly as well as he did. But other than that, he's now leaving us with more questions than answers, so that he can have more speculative, similar lore videos that you and I watch. He got us. He got us. Good on you, Mike. Like, I'm not criticizing you, my man, in this. It's just I'm admiring your handiwork. Except, once again, was it a full-blown clickbait video from him? Mine wasn't, I think. It is a commentary, as advertised, right? But at the same time, does he give us actually any tangible proof, any data mining, any other things that are truly leading towards the Void, other than something that was, like, the lid was blown on it wide open without having to dig any deeper than necessary, than beyond just what was revealed? The Void connection, whatever that Void connection is, which is very likely connected to Xal'atath, the fifth god, or whatever she is clear as day. You don't need to be Bellular or me to predict this as like a 90% probability of the next expansion. And lo and behold, he actually has not told us anything else that you and I probably didn't know already. That's my conclusion on this, but I am grateful to Bellular for entertaining us and giving me some content to just spend a little bit of 20 minutes here ranting to you boys and girls about. If you enjoyed some of it, if you have opinions about what Bellular said or about where he thinks this story is going, now is your chance to let me know and share with us, and let's just wash it out and have a chat, because otherwise, what else is there to do? What are you going to do with your time in WoW right now, or in Diablo? Blech. Path of Exile, I already advertised to you. Go play Path of Exile. Thanks very much for joining today. I enjoyed this. I hope you did as well. I'll talk to you soon about something else. World of Warcraft maybe, and maybe Diablo, maybe Path of Exile related. Goodbye for now.